It's time for the Business of Life with Coach Ron Tunick and Jim Piccirillo.
Oh, yeah. We're back by popular demand every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, soon to go national. And, Jimmy, when we go national, I think, is it
nationwide, baby?
Nationwide, baby.
We're bad. We're nationwide.
Can you charge people to listen to our show?
No.
No.
I don't think that'll work.
That was your generation.
I wish, man.
That was payola, right?
Well, yeah. That was to play records. Payola was to play records or, to promote something. If we had people pay us, that would be a subscription service.
Right, but on the internet,
we need subscribers.
Let's say YouTube, that's free subscribers, right?
Yes.
But what was I listening to yesterday? There was something the guy was charging like $2 it was to his podcast. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Podcast?
We need a podcast.
Don't we have a podcast?
We do.
Okay.
But
we need another one? Or
no.
Oh, okay.
We just need to
charge $2 per head. There we go.
No. Okay. At KHTS, that's what you're listening to. Podcast are free. The website is awesome. It's hometownstation.com.
This is free entertainment, free information. We charge nothing.
And our show is about nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
It's just like
Starts
Congress.
nowhere, ends nowhere.
Ends nowhere. We're just like Congress. We achieve nothing.
Too bad we're not like Seinfeld and those guys. They cashed in on nothing. We're not going to get a dime for this.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
He was making something like, this is 15, 17 years ago, $1 million a week.
Yeah. When he sold the show, he got $900 million.
What do you think? What is the top income? Who's the top actor? What is his annual income? I'll tell you.
Right now?
Yeah.
On TV?
Just period. He's on TV, does commercials. He does commercials for AT&T.
Oh,
there's
you
a clue.
know the answer.
There's a clue.
You're asking me.
There's
give
a
me the
clue.
Give me the clue.
He does commercials for AT&T. He's got a little
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, he's got a little animal at the end of the commercial.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
68 million.
Marky Mark.
68 million.
Well, he's a smart guy. He's also a producer of so many things. He's not just an actor. His company
seems like a nice guy too.
I don't know about. Well, I think
no?
I don't know.
You're in that business.
I don't know.
You are Valencia Production Partners.
That's right.
I got
me and
right.
Marky Wahlberg.
Valencia.
We hang out. We're going out tonight. We're playing golf.
The other big sponsor is Rev It Up Sports. Rev It Up Sports. That's another.
It's Rev Up Auto Sports.
Rev Up Auto Sports.
You saw me drive up in my new rag top today.
I love that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
car?
you want to sell that thing. If you're
thirsty.
out there and you want to buy
a 32-ounce bottle of water when I got it. I was baking.
Yeah, your face is all tan now. Yeah. So if you want to buy, we should sell cars. That's what we should do. We should turn
sell
this
some
show.
Cars for me, will you?
Okay. What year is that car?
That is an 04 Porsche Boxster.
04 Porsche Boxster, 18,000 cash.
I'll take 18,000 cash.
No,
right now.
I get a little commission for selling the car.
Okay, I got it. All right.
Right? Give me some.
We can't talk prices on the air. Sorry.
You can't?
No.
The car is immaculate.
It is immaculate.
Cody, call Mom and tell her you want to. You would look good in that.
We got a bunch of those, man. We got a bunch of cool. Here's our motto, and I don't want to get off sidetrack.
We have a motto?
Well, my son and I have Rev Up Auto Sports, which grew out of a hobby of us collecting cars. And the way we do it now is, our motto is, we will not sell you any car that we would not drive or own ourselves. That's how we judge every car we buy. So there you go. That's our plug for the day.
What a wonderful motto. Cody, do you have any mottos? Huh?
Personally, not yet, no, but I'm going to have to take that one.
Now, I wear a motto on my ring. On the outside of the ring, it says, winners never quit. See?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who said that originally?
Vince Lombardi. All right, back to a show that's about nothing. We accomplished nothing.
Well, I got to ask you, what's bugging you this
week? Boy, I can tell you what's bugging me.
Coach?
You walk through our local mall, and there's a lot of stores that are not in business right now. Although your friend's opening up the Canyon Club. I went over there yesterday. That is a huge.
Boy, he's got a big space over there,
my goodness. Mm-hmm. Do you dance? I dance.
Oh, I dance too.
In fact, talking about dancing, my wife and I.
Dancing every week.
Well, you were a Chippendale dancer. I wasn't. My wife and I like to dance. In fact, I'm dedicating the show today to my beautiful wife, Ellen Sue Tunick.
Ellen Sue.
Ellen Sue. Isn't that sweet? She is so sweet.
You're a little sweetheart, Ellen Sue.
I'm telling you, if every guy had a wife like this,
I agree.
You'd be as big as I am.
Listen, your wife is one of the nicest humans on earth.
She really is.
My son was telling me the other day, Dad, she is the sweetest lady. She's just so nice because, as you know, we share some space over there with you guys.
Yeah.
But okay, so what's bugging you, man?
Okay, so what's bugging me is we need more interesting stores in our local mall.
Yeah.
Now, you like downtown where we are right now.
I do.
You're listening to KHTS in downtown Newhall.
Yeah. I like things a little less gentrified, a little less formalized, a little less homogenized. Oh, there's a new motto, Cody. Write that down.
So maybe Cody will come up with a motto by the end of the show.
I like things just a little rough around. A little
People
more rough
listen
around
to
the
our
edges.
show on hometownstation.com. Incidentally, every other week or so, I'm bashing the educational system. So in Block 2, we have a ex-principal, 22 years.
Today in Block 2.
Yeah.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, coming up soon. In fact, I've got to give Cody her phone number. She's in Florida.
Whoa.
But she's got an interesting take. I don't want to give it away,
Yeah.
but what would you think? Let me use Burger King. What
Okay.
would you think if Burger King ran our school system and paid for everything?
We'd be fat and dead in 30 days.
Come on now.
We'd be eating that food. and-
That's a disclaimer.
Process-
He doesn't really mean it. He doesn't.
What do you mean? We're going to eat processed food and let?
He doesn't
I misunderstood your question. I apologize.
apologize
Burger
to Burger King. You need to
I
apologize.
don't need to apologize to Burger King.
Really?
What?
I happen to like Burger King.
Well, it's good for
I
you.
think their hamburgers are yummy.
Oh my God! Listen, I know your other fixation.
Stop it.
And I'm trying to get you off that wagon.
Yeah, I think you did today. There's her phone number, Cody. We're going to have Cody's Corner in a minute. Back to what's bugging me. So we need more interesting stores in our local mall.
Yeah, but
so
like
give
what?
me three great. I'll give you three great ideas.
What can you do? You can sell shoes, clothes, jewelry.
No,
There's-
why don't you put?
Every mall is the same. You go to any country. If you go to any state in America, any town in America, every mall has the exact same 8 or 10
This
shops.
is what I'm saying. Will you
The
let me-
airports.
will
Every
you-
airport has the exact same. Everything's the same. What happened to like individual?
Are you going to let me answer?
Go ahead.
Now, some of the malls, some of the airports really have some interesting stores. So why don't we take some of the interesting stores in the airports? And you travel a lot.
I do, but please, you really want those stores? It's bad enough seeing them when you're like traveling. You don't want them in your town. you know?
Okay, here's what I'm going to give you three of what I would
I think
like.
there's a bigger thing to play here. It's not the interesting. I think the malls in general, the actual mall system. I think America's tired of that system. Personally, I think that's why you're seeing more outdoor patio type shops, more downtowns being revitalized. People like to get out and kind of move around. It's sterile walking around in those big. concrete
I'm not
bunkers.
disagreeing with you. So let's put ready for my three ideas.
Yep.
Heated indoor Olympic-sized swimming pool,
One. Okay.
and that way you get to see ladies and men swimming, being healthy.
Why can't you just go to your local health club to see that? You need that in a mall?
It's free. If you belong to a club, you're going to pay, what, $30, $40, $50 a month. You have that kind of money to pay a gym?
No.
Okay, I didn't
I think
so.
we've moved into quick hits and didn't realize that. I think we've blown over what's bugging him. So I think we need to get our
Quick
bell
hits.
ready. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
Now
I'm
let's go.
sad today. I'm sad. The eclipse is over, and I'm sad.
Wasn't that fun?
Do you know why I'm sad?
Because it's over and people aren't like being nice to one another. I don't know.
Hello, it brought everybody together for 24 hours. We were one.
It was cool.
A friend of mine, Big Cindy Lazinski, who's probably number one realtor in town. Her whole building went outside. They were holding hands. They were laughing.
Yeah.
They were everybody. It was a stew of wonderful people. Have you ever had stew in your life?
I have, and I love the mix of stew when it's the right ingredients. And I think yesterday we had the right ingredients. Neighbors, friends, coworkers, people you barely know. We all had one thing in common, and that was getting out and looking at the eclipse. We got out early in the morning. All of our neighbors were out. We laughed. We had a great time. A little bit of commercialism crept into it, though.
Where? What was the?
So Saturday, my wife says, "Hey, we need those glasses," and she starts calling all around, and there's everybody's sold out.
That was safety. That was
I know.
That was
So-
a safety item.
So I get on Craigslist. There's a lot of glasses on
We're
Craigslist.
done. We're done with that.
Yeah, hell. I was gonna say about the guy I bought my glasses from down in Sherman Oaks that lived in a mansion, but hey, whatever.
Next year, when the eclipse comes back, I'll be selling
It's
glasses.
not coming back next year.
Oh, it's not?
2024.
Oh, I thought it was every year. The eclipse is not every year?
No. 2024, 2044. Let me know 2044 if you want to get together and watch that one.
I hope we're on radio.
I'll
I hope we're
believe
on
it.
nationwide
Oh, my
radio. Don't change the dial. You're listening to KHTS 1220 here in Southern California. We're our flagship station right here in Newhall, which is revitalizing itself, according to Jim Picarillo.
Oh, it is. It's alive.
And he comes downtown at night because there's a wine store. Like to get him as an advertiser for our show.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention their name until they start advertising.
Well, you want me to just leak it out there? I mean, they're
Leak
right
it,
next
leak
door.
it,
Come
leak
on.
it, leak it.
Double Trouble.
That's their name?
Double Trouble.
That's their
Isn't
name?
that a cool name?
Double Trouble?
A couple of musicians got together and
Ooh, I love
formed
that
a
name.
wine company. But I just come down here and get a bottle of wine in a brown paper bag and just sit out on the street. You know,
Well, that comes from your youth.
Yeah, okay.
Did you stand outside of like a Quick Mart in Logan, West Virginia, and give somebody like $5 for Thunderbird?
Oh, God, yeah. But we didn't have Quick Marts.
What'd you
When
have?
I was growing up, liquor was state controlled. So
it was?
You had to go to a state controlled liquor store and you look through a little cage and you tell the guy what you want and he takes your money.
That's
and
ridiculous.
They didn't have like open stores where you walk in and pick what you want.
Right. So in Oregon, they have same thing, government-run liquor stores. So when I was drinking vodka, which I don't drink much anymore, I'd walk in. Every time I walked in this government store, I felt like there's cameras on me. I just felt like I was breaking every rule.
Yeah.
It was like when I was 14 and I would go in and buy a pack of cigarettes and try to come off I was 16.
Yeah.
Right? How old do you have to be to smoke today?
I don't know, 21 maybe?
21, yeah.
You know, like in
Did you ever smoke cigarettes, Cody?
No, of course not.
I smoked for 90 days and I
you
hated
think
it.
he's going to say yes? His mom's listening.
Oh, that's
Come
right.
on, man.
What's your mom's name? Maybe next week we'll dedicate this. Does your mother listen?
Well, I think the show's almost dedicated to her today. Her name is Ellen. So
Your mom's name is Ellen?
yes.
Well, let's do a double.
He's a fine boy, Ellen.
Does she listen to the show?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, big shout out to you, Ellen. What's your mom's last name?
Como.
Oh,
That's odd. Same
Yeah.
last name as you?
Yeah.
No, I'm just
I know.
kidding.
What are the odds? huh?
Ellen Como. Big shout out to you. You should be proud of your son. He's a wonderful young man. Speaks well of you too. Back to so for 90 days I smoked Salem menthols.
Woo.
Remember
Those are
those?
nasty. Oh, yeah.
I hated it.
Man, where are you?
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to share something with you, Jim Picarillo. The show's called The Business of Life. You can listen on hometownstation.com. We have the best, I'm not teasing when I say this, Jim Picarillo. We have the best radio app in the country. Just go to the App Store, put in KHTS 1220, download the app. I'm telling you, it is the best radio app. The station has great shows.
They do.
All through the week.
A lot of
I
shows.
listen to them.
A lot of shows. I never realized until I started doing this with you how many shows are on here.
Unbelievable. And good shows, entertaining shows.
Yeah.
New Mexico.
Some of those shows actually go somewhere. They start and end somewhere, right? I mean, they have a message and a format.
Well, the show before ours is a financial. I listen to it every week driving
really?
here. It's really interesting. You should 12:20 a.m. Put it on. No, seriously, it's a very interesting show.
Okay.
I learned a lot. Salt Lake City, Utah. We got to go through these quick hits. The University of Utah has a record 2,000 plus freshmen living on campus, thanks to more residential hall space. This comes from the Deseret News Reports. Officials say that's good for college success since students who live on campus are 12% more likely, this is interesting, 12% more likely to graduate if they live on campus.
Well, I mean,
Now,
don't
you went to...
But you always live on campus to start, right?
No.
Freshmen always
Well,
live on campus,
yeah,
and then you move off.
Yeah, but...
So you're saying they lived there their entire 4 years?
Yeah. You went to Marshall, right?
I did. I went to West Virginia University.
Right.
But I graduated at Marshall.
Uh,
I went 3 years at WVU. And
The
then 1 year at
Thundering
Marshall.
Herd.
Thundering Herd.
yeah.
Mike D'Antoni, Russell Lee.
Yeah.
You remember those guys?
Of course. You're not a sports guy like I am. Do you?
Well, maybe not like you, but I know a little bit about sports,
I
especially
mean-
basketball. I'm a big basketball fan.
I'm not.
See?
Basketball season to me, they're still talking about LeBron, my favorite player, basketball player of all time, and Kyrie. And this is August, and
Yeah.
the seasons, your basketball season starts in October.
I know. It's getting ready to start.
I
Summer
mean,
League was
it's-
really big.
It's like 10 months. It never stops.
Yeah, I love basketball.
Show's called The Business Life. It's about nothing. We're trying to be entertaining.
Let's talk about business or life.
Okay.
Let's find something about business. or
No,
life.
I've got something right here.
Right.
Austin, Texas. Scientists say zebra mussels have been found at Lake Austin as the invasive species continues to spread in Texas waterways. About a dozen Texas lakes are infested by the mussels that clog water pipes, damage boat motors, and affect other aquatic life.
Wow, that sounds gross.
I'm giving you up-to-date stuff right
That's
here.
stuff I need to know this afternoon. I was worried about Texas waterways.
Coming up here in about 10 seconds is Cody's Corner. So Cody is, if you're listening to Ellen Como, a very handsome young man. He turned out great. We decided that we wanted to give him at least a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Do you have your
No,
stopwatch?
I think it was a minute. No,
1 minute? Do you have your stopwatch?
Yeah, we're ready.
We're not going to bash millennials anymore. You and I have decided that millennials are a part.
I'm pro-millennial, by the way.
You are?
Yeah.
So am I.
Okay.
I'm pro young people.
I get tired of everybody saying millennials this, millennials that.
I'm not. We don't. We tease, but we love millennials.
No, I know, but they get a bad rap. They've got and maybe later when we talk to the principal about education, maybe she can shed some light on why.
I'd love to hear what your response to her is going to be. She's coming up here in a few minutes.
That's a setup.
It is a setup.
We better get to Cody. We got 2 minutes.
Well, people don't know this. You're a little left, I'm a little right, and we never talk politics on this show. That was our agreement.
That was our agreement.
We don't do it.
That's how we met, though. Remember?
Oh, that's how we met.
We'd stand in the hallway and just.
You had MSNBC all day long,
MSNBC all
and
day
I
long,
had
and you had
Fox.
Fox all day long.
Yeah, and you'd come up to my office.
And turn that
and
stuff
you would
down.
put
I cannot stand that.
I know. That's how we met.
See how we get going when we even
we're
just
done.
think about
no,
it.
No, we're done. We get angst up. We're done. We're done. Before we go to break, we've got to get to Cody's Corner before our principal comes on. Cody, welcome to the Business of Life. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How you doing today?
So this is a great segment, a brand new segment starting every week. Okay, what is on your mind as a millennial?
Today in general?
No, last week. Tuesday last week.
See? Those damn millennials. Okay, I'm not pro-millennial anymore.
Yeah. What?
Give him a question.
Pick a day this year.
Give him a
What day?
question.
What day?
All right. Today, I have to admit, I feel a little bit out of the loop. People always talking. I don't get these Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. I just don't get those shows. I don't know what it is. A lot of young
What's he
people
talking
do, and
about?
I don't get
I don't even know what he's talking
I'm
about.
with you. I don't watch any of those shows. I think they're so phony and so calculated. But, man, everybody, all my neighbors watch those shows. I mean, it's
taking
like.
over.
Yeah.
Well, this goes to what you said at lunch, and that we're all sheep.
We are a lot.
You accused us of being all sheep.
No, here you said, hey, wasn't it great for yesterday during the eclipse, everybody got together and we all had a common cause? And I said the reason we had a common cause is because the media blasted it out there all day long the day before. If all you hear all day long through the media, we're all just, media suckers, whatever they're talking about is what we're out there doing. So if they're spitting out angst and bad thoughts, that's what we're walking
You're
around
on
with.
Cody's Corner's time. Do you realize that?
Sorry, Cody.
Go,
Cody, I'll give you back a
20
minute.
You got
I
20.
forgive you.
No, he's got 20 seconds. Go.
Last 20 seconds? Wow.
We were on The Bachelorette and
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I feel like a lot of younger people are super down with those shows, and I just don't understand it. I guess that's been
Be
on my mind
honest.
today.
Can you be honest with our listeners?
Of course, always honest.
You want to kiss all those 20 girls just like The Bachelor. Why don't you just be honest? Tell your mother you would like to be The Bachelor.
Come
so
on. The girls they have on those shows.
No, I haven't watched it. I've never watched it. I have no clue.
Well,
They're a specific breed, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
A certain type of person wants to find love in front of the whole
But
country.
on
it's
the
all
television,
it's
yeah.
all, as Mr. Piccarello said, he's in that industry, Cody. Okay, it's all marketed, manipulate. Anyway, the show's called The Business Life. We'll be right back. We're going to do a segment on education. It's one of both Jim and I. We care about you, our listeners, but we care more about your sons and daughters and grandkids getting an education so they can support themselves. We'll be right back on The Business Life.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top-quality musicals and plays. Located in Old Town Newhall, the CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go to canyontheater.org.
Santa Clarita's new Friday night happening place is Vine's Restaurant and Bar at the Hyatt Valencia,
Vine's Restaurant rocks.
featuring their prime rib buffet dinner.
Oh man, awesome buffet.
Prime rib, the best.
Our Friday feast.
Tomato basil soup, homemade.
Shrimp and Caesar salad.
Vine's Restaurant Friday night prime rib buffet, only $29.50.
The ultimate date night.
Make your Friday date night at Vine's Restaurant and keep every day of your week happy at the Vine's Lounge and Patio Happy Hour, 4 to 7 p.m. daily, featuring $5 appetizers and drinks.
What to do, what to do. Your child's birthday is almost here. Put your birthday plans on ice. Ice Station Valencia. Throw a hassle-free party for 10 or more with an Ice Station party package. Public skating, rental skates, group lesson, birthday cake, pizza, soft drinks, party favors, and a decorated party area. Your party hostess will have a gift for your birthday child. For your fun ice skating party, call 775-8686 and keep your party cool. Ice Station Valencia, across the street from Valencia High.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Don't turn the dial because this could be the most interesting 20 minutes of your life. Please don't turn the dial because if you do, it tells me you may not be one of the most educated people in the world. This segment, Jim, you and I many times have talked about how important educating our kids are because kids need to be properly employed. They need to take care of their families. They need to support themselves. And I've got a great guest coming up right now. This lady was a principal for 2 elementary schools, and believe it or not, I think this is where education starts, but I have a take on it. I'm not going to give it to you yet. I don't want to give it to you yet. Her name is Susan Colton, and she wrote a book called Principal's Passion. And I'm sure you can buy it everywhere. Go to Amazon, check it out. Principal's Passion. If you care about education, and I know we have teachers out there listening, we have students out there listening. No texting and driving. You know, I say that every week. Susan, welcome to Southern California. It's about 98 degrees outside. It's dry. We don't have your humidity in Florida. Welcome. How are you, lady?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your show.
Well, it's wonderful. I know you're pitch hitting. We had a guest cancel, and you agreed to come on in short notice. And I'm really looking forward to this interview because you were in the foxhole. I mean, you were doing this for 22 years. Let me ask you a question right off the bat. What was your biggest challenge every day as a school principal?
Well, every day as a school principal, of course, one of the biggest challenges was dealing with students and bullying and not respecting and caring about each other. But I think that the last decade, my biggest challenge has been dealing with the inability of teachers and principals and parents and local communities to be able to make decisions regarding their schools, their curriculum, and what their public schools and their children are being taught.
Well, now we're going to get into it because what I think kids should be taught and what probably the rest of the world thinks might be different. Jim, let's get into it a little bit with Susan. The quality education, and I've said it on the air so many times in the last 15 years, we're still educating people the same way we did in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Kids coming out of college can't get jobs. I mean, those are facts.
Yeah, but what's the blame there? I mean, this is a big, complex issue, obviously. So I don't know, like, if you can point your finger at one thing. Obviously, Susan has the experience and the depth to understand this a little better and can probably explain it a lot better than you and I. But I would just go back to, like, you know, I think right now you're looking at a real big debate in public versus private education. Who can afford an education, who can't?
Susan, that's a good way to get you going, lady. What there in where we are in L.A., I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings when I say this, because to me, I'm really concerned as a caring citizen. Our public schools in Los Angeles are not integrated the way I would like to see them integrated with the whole community. And it seems to me, Jim and Susan, that people who have money are sending their kids to private school. And I'm just wondering, and Jim brought it up, Are you getting the same education? Are you getting a better education if you're going to a private school versus a public school?
Well, now that is the great debate, because public school teachers are required by law to be certified in areas that they teach, in special education, in reading, and teachers who are in private schools not necessarily have to be certified and have a state license to practice teaching. Also, public education. I think that today the privatization, the corporations are really controlling what is going on, the politics and the legislators. For example, all of the testing that's going on in schools. Students are not allowed to think and reason and use their minds well because all they're doing is preparing for tests, preparing on how to bubble in, and that's why when they go to interviews in their jobs, they don't know how to do an interview. They haven't had the opportunity to have conversations with their teachers and their fellow students and from outside businesses and community members because their lives are revolving around test preparation. So I see that the driver behind this is big business and big money, and the charter school movement, for example, or the privatization. A lot of charter schools are under public school jurisdiction, which is fine. It may bring in another avenue or idea or innovation for students in a particular area like science or the arts. But now, in my state, in the state of Florida, public monies have been now passed by the state law on July 1st of this year. That public monies will be also used for private corporations to come in and to take over and set up privately funded for-profit charter schools. And to me, that is taking public school money away from the public school system the way it was originally designed.
Let me ask you, Susan, what does that mean for students and parents if that happens? And is that something that just came about? I mean, is this through the current administration's take on how we're supposed to conduct education? And I'm speaking specifically of the Secretary of Education.
Well, of course, no, it's been going on for quite a long time before that. It's been going on probably at least for the past 10 years, that it is building up now that we do have a Secretary of Education who, by the way, has no educational background at all. And there should be those who are trained in education making decisions in education. We certainly don't go to doctors who have no background in taking care of people and being, knowing the physiology of the body. So here we are, and it's been about 10 years in the making, at least, in this a dilemma of the possibility of losing public schools. And public schools are really the cornerstone of our democracy. Public schools are where children from all walks of life, from, as you said, integrated from all races, all creeds, all colors, come together in one place to learn about our country and our democratic values. And I see an erosion of that and a destruction of that because now we're going to have parents. As a matter of fact, another law that was just passed in my state is that anyone who is considered a community resident can dispute the curriculum that's being taught in the classroom, which to me means that perhaps we will not be able to talk about climate change or scientific things like the eclipse from yesterday, for Pete's sake.
Talked about the eclipse on our show for sure. Susan Colton is our guest. Her book is Principal. She was a principal for 22 years. Her book is The Principal's Passion, and you can tell, Jim, she really cares. Now, I have a little different take than you and Jim. I think the corporations who go into the inner cities in every city, but and take so much money out, it's time they put money back in. So I don't have a problem. Here's what I would love to see, Susan Colton, is have these large corporations. Now, I'm drifting off just a little bit. I just want to say this, that education is states' rights, so I want to keep the federal government out of it. You two probably would disagree. But back to what I was going to say.
Well, let's keep the corporations out, too. I mean,
No. Can I just finish my thought?
Okay, all right.
So here's what I want to say, Susan and Jim, is that have the corporations come in. In California, in our public schools, we're losing our cultural arts. I was in band. I was a band geek when I was in school. So many of the cultural programs in the inner cities, in public schools, cannot be funded. The parents can't afford them. Let these large corporations come in and fund the bands again and fund these programs. Now I'll shut up.
Okay, I'm with you there. I was in the band. I did all that stuff too. I love that. What happened? Where has that gone? Why is arts and cultural things not funded anymore? How did that all just come about? I mean, even sports. I mean, I had two kids. They're in their 20s now. In our era, everything was kind of provided for you. In my kids' eras, you had to pay for everything, every little thing they did. If the school didn't have it, and they normally didn't have the funding for almost anything, the parents had to come up with it. And I think that's what's given parents this rise of power or pushback. Early on, Susan, you talked about the hardest thing for a principal is keeping kids in line and bullying and the respect that teachers probably do not get anymore. When we were younger, there was just this built-in respect that you attend school, you're respectful to your teacher and your classmates, and you're there for to learn. Everybody had a good time, but at the same time, I don't see that respect anymore from parents and parents and students towards teachers.
Well, I agree with you 100% that respect is not there, but I do think that we can do something about it. I think that that we've sat back for a while and we've just taken it all in. We've taken in the laws that are passed, the politics that are involved, the privatization ideas, and I think it's time that communities should come together and take back their public schools. And how can they do that? Well, they can start together by working and building respect and building relationships. And that's what I'm all about. I work locally with my public education foundation, and we go out to organizations, perhaps churches, local businesses who want to be involved in their schools, but they don't know how. And we set up community engagement meetings, and we invite the public. And I think that if we did this one community at a time, we could get back to public education the way we all see it in our vision of the American dream, for example. Right now, that big business money, instead of coming in and going to schools, is going to politicians to run their campaigns, and also going to big businesses such as educational testing businesses, and also teacher evaluation businesses, and those corporations are funding those projects and taking away the autonomy that teachers, principals, and parents in the community, and even the student voice, have in deciding what is appropriate for their education. You mentioned the arts. I fought through my 22 years as a principal to keep the arts in any way in that I knew how to. And by being creative, budgeting, or switching things around and prioritizing, I see that that science, for example, in the state of Florida, in the Department of Environmental Service Office, they're not even allowed to use the words climate change. So this is moving in
That's
on a
terrifying.
scary scale.
That's absolutely terrifying.
It's like this dark cloud that's moving over us. And I really think that you're right that large corporations should be involved, Ron. I agree with you there. They should be involved. However, they should be involved in building their public schools, because what do they want when they want their students to come to them? They want students who are able to be productive workers. They need students that are able to build relationships with other people and form work teams so that they can create innovation and creative projects for their companies. They don't need students who have been told from top-down government that they are, what they're supposed to do every day and how many tests they're supposed to take. And that's what's happening. We're, the old saying, we're dumbing down our educational system.
And we're dumbing down our public.
Yeah.
I was going to say, look who they voted for, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Susan Colton is her name.
I'm not going there.
No, I'm not going there. Our show's not about politics. It's literally about nothing except today. It's an important subject. That's education.
At least you're coming over to the right side, though.
Her name is Susan Colton. Her book is called The Principal's Passion. So let's go quick. We call this quick hits. So I'll start, then Jim, and we'll go back and forth. We're also hearing a beep. Are you touching your phone, girl? Don't touch your phone.
Okay.
Don't touch your phone. Something's going on. Unless you're recording it, unless you're with the government.
No, I'm not. I'm certainly not. I don't know what's going on. I have this is a landline, but it's a Motorola portable phone.
Well,
so.
That's the issue. You're listening to KHTS 1220. You can listen online at hometownstation.com. And, of course, the best radio app in the country. Go to the App Store, and download KHTS 1220. So let me start off with what really angsts me about the education. There's 100 things. I'll just talk about the first thing. The dress code in California. I don't know about Florida, but my God, girl, where's the leadership? I mean, these aren't politicians allowing these young ladies and guys to. There's no discipline. There's no respect just in the dress. So if there's no respect for the clothing, and as Jim said, where's the respect for the teachers? It's a broad brush that I'm painting, but it all is integrated.
But I think that's just a reflection of society where it's gone.
Are you going to let you let your daughter wear halter tops?
Well, I didn't want her to. I don't.
What kind of father were you?
Well, I'm just saying that's a reflection of society. Just look around. Everything's. I don't agree with it totally. I'm just saying that.
Susan, ex-principal, 22 years. Where's the leadership and I'm starting, and then Jim will have something to say. Just the clothing. I think kids maybe ought to wear uniforms. The school let McDonald's buy everybody a uniform.
Never happen in public school anymore.
No, we tried uniforms. That's there are still schools around who do wear uniforms. But it's kind of gone by the wayside, and that's been tried and not done very well, because I think that it comes from exactly who you said. It comes from the leadership. It comes from the principals, the teacher at the school. It comes from society. We have to respect each other. We can't put each other down the way we look, the way we dress. However,
I think you have to keep the individuality. If you start putting everyone in uniforms, you kill the individuality that we were just talking about. There's limits on everything.
Obviously, you haven't read my new book. I couldn't afford a sweater. I went to a school where rich kids. I couldn't afford a sweater. I wound up having a chip on my shoulder, which allowed me to have the life I have. But, there's a very competitive thing. The principal knows this. We got to go, girl. Will you come back in a month? And you're going to be our expert in education. We'll have you back. Continue the conversation. Her name is Susan Colton. Her book is Principal's Passion. If you care about education, real quick, why did you write the book? You got 1 minute. Why did you write the book, and what will somebody get if they read the book?
Okay, I definitely wrote the book because I feel that children need to be put at the top of our organizational charts in our organizations. I believe that we can build positive relationships in diverse communities, that we should create motivational learning environments, and we need to create a sense of urgency and rally our communities to save our public schools from corporate takeover and to make our public education a priority again.
Well, you're a terrific guest. We have so much to continue. I'll call you in a month. I mean, we do have a little difference in opinion. I think corporations have a vested interest in our community. They clearly have, as you said earlier, a vested interest in hiring smart, educated people with knowledge. When you come back, think about this question. We'll have you back in a month. I think we should have classes back on shops and construction. Not everybody wants to go to college, Susan. And this is the false claim that educators make. College isn't everything it's cracked up to be. Jim went to Marshall University, and I can't tell you some of the things that he got into. But if you listen to our show, we got to take a break. Will you come back in a month and we'll continue this?
Yes, I will.
Wouldn't it be interesting, Susan, if we had like construction equipment that kids could drive when they got to school and they look forward to going to school? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, looking forward to coming to school and engaging the kids is the number one priority. So let's talk about it.
Okay, I'm going to have you back. Susan Colton is her name. The book is called Principal's Passion. We got to take a break. The show is called The Business Life in Southern California on KHTS 1220 AM. We'll be right back.
You're constantly on the go. Why not be on the go in the comfort, style, and safety of a new Nissan from Valencia Nissan?
Bob Bailey, Executive Manager at Valencia Nissan, where Bob or any of his helpful, friendly staff can assist you with incredible savings on summer specials on the 2017 Nissan Versa, Sentra, Altima, or the new Nissan Juke SUV.
You're always welcome at Valencia Nissan, where we make your automotive dreams come true.
Did you know that nearly 1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence in her lifetime? And in Santa Clarita, our community supports its own domestic violence center with a shelter home, 24-hour crisis hotline, and bilingual counseling programs. If you or someone you know needs help, we're here. The 24-hour crisis hotline number is 259-HELP. For more information, go to dvcsantaclarita.com because no one should tolerate domestic violence. 259-HELP.
There's still one doctor in Santa Clarita that makes house calls, Dr. H2O Village West Pools. Our hot Santa Clarita summers can create havoc on the chemical balance of your pool or spa. That's where the doctor can help. Dr. H2O specializes in quality pool and spa service. Dr. H2O also does professional installation and repair of remote systems, pumps, filters, heaters, and salt systems. If your pool or spa has an ache, call the doctor, Dr. H2O, 297-0438.
KHTS.
Just to welcome you back to the show, 20 years in the making, the business of life, and KHTS, Jim Piccirillo and the coach. And just to finish up on that educational segment, I hope we didn't bore anybody. If they were bored, shame on them.
Yeah, it's a big, complex,
it is complex
subject, but I think she had it right. We got to make the kids and public education priority number one.
I agree, but I do agree with you. But all I'm saying is, can't we find ways to make learning fun? That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree. I think she brought up some very good points. One that I didn't get in there, but I think about all the time is, she said kids are taught to, unfortunately, the last 10 or 12, 15 years, they've been structured to only learn how to take tests, which when they get to an interview nowadays, they don't have the critical, analytical tools to answer these companies questions. Silicon Valley companies throw you really hard curve questions. They don't just ask you A, B, C, D. They want you to be able to think on your feet and critically analyze something. I don't think our kids are getting that.
Can I say amen? Last thing, and then we'll move on because there's something else I want to talk about. There's also all these studies that doing homework is worthless. It's meaningless. Have you read any of those studies?
I haven't read that, but
Okay.
I mean,
read up on
everyone
it.
hated
We'll talk
homework,
about-
right?
yeah, but
again, I think if you're not engaged and you're just doing rote memorization stuff to turn in the next day and get a grade for it, that's where the breakdown is. Kids aren't engaged. They're not learning because they're not engaged.
You're in the video production business, so why can't you have a class on graphics, video production? I know some schools do. But why not have
Churning
like
them out by the thousands.
Why not have a rock and roll band? You come to school, your first period's a rock and roll band.
School of Rock, baby.
And School of Rock, and you learn how to dance. Guys don't know how to dance. You laugh. Cody, do you know how to dance?
Are you going to make a living dancing?
No,
I mean,
Cody does not know how to dance. There you go.
Yeah.
The first period is a rock and roll group that I'll promote. You and I'll promote it.
Yeah.
And kids come together and they dance for an hour. Can I? And we're almost done in education. Can I say one last thing?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go to gym class.
Well, I don't know about that. Athletes always. I love
There's
gym
a
class.
difference between.
That was my day. That was my time to get out and whatever.
I was an athlete. Were you an athlete?
Absolutely.
So I'm telling you, Cody, did you like going to gym class?
No.
No. These
I love
kids
gym.
don't. I did too.
Loved it.
But these kids don't like going to gym class. So think about it. You laugh. You have a rock and roll band.
Yep.
You dance for an hour. You're going to burn more calories than going to a gym class.
I agree.
All right, we're done.
You got to be engaged. Again, it gets back to that, so.
We're done. How come you and I can't come up with this kind of business where we ride our bicycles and we deliver stuff?
Well, it wouldn't be very efficient.
If
you and I are out there on bikes delivering stuff, one delivery, I'd be, man, it's hot out here. That's it for me.
We've used Grubhub. Have you used Grubhub?
Yeah.
And they come in a car.
Yeah.
But we're in Santa Clarita, where it's not San Francisco or some of the dense areas of L.A. I don't know, delivering stuff on a bicycle here, I don't know how much sense that would make.
I don't know that it would make it. We're too spread out here, too suburban.
Have you ever used a delivery service?
Yes.
I was in your office one time, and you were complaining about I think it was $64 for a guy to take an envelope.
Yeah, we used to pay courier. Well, that business is kind of, the document.
$80.
Well, the document business, now it's all digital files sent, whatever. It's like the fax machine. You ever see a fax anymore?
No, what's a fax machine?
Yeah.
I don't even know what a fax machine is.
Exactly.
Back to Southern California, back to culture. So you're culturally oriented. I'm not, and I want to be culturally oriented. You should take a dance class. I'm trying to promote the School of Rock. You
There's
go
a School of Rock right down the street here.
You
ever seen it?
No. What is it?
Right on Lyons.
Are you serious?
There's a School of Rock, a franchise. I actually looked into starting a franchise, School of Rock. They were too expensive.
Wait. Slow this down. The show's called The Business Life. I'm here with Jim Piccirillo. I think he's starting to lose it. What do you mean a School of Rock?
There is the movie School of Rock?
No, I don't know the movie.
Well, you are culturally
You
deprived.
watch movies, you go to plays, you go to dances, you go to clubs, you drink wine. I drink a beer once in a while, and I'm not culturally oriented.
That's sad. I need to get you out more often.
What?
But anyway,
Back to the School of Rock.
School of Rock was a movie with Jack Black, and the premise was you send your kids to rock and roll band camp, and they learn how to play rock and roll songs, and they engage them in instruments and stuff that are fun for them. So now there's a franchise called School of Rock, and every area can get one. I applied for one early on. Decided not to do it I thought it was just a little too much money for the franchise fee. But there's a guy right down here on Lyons Avenue. And I hope he's doing well. And it's a great little looking business. And they bring kids there and teach them rock and roll stuff.
What's that, buddy? Maybe we're going to get him on the show next week, and maybe it'll be a sponsor, Double Trouble.
Yeah, the guys at Double Trouble, Doug and Scott.
Okay.
They're musicians.
Tell them they got to. Whoa.
They were musicians.
I'm an ex-musician.
I know you are. You're a drummer.
I'm a drummer. So are you. But back to this thing of rock. So if I wanted to.
You're too old to go to the School of
I'm
Rock.
not too old to do anything, Jim.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not too old to do anything.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So the School of Rock.
Go to the School of Old Rock, okay?
School of Rock. So, wow. Okay.
Why don't you go down there and roll with those kids? You'd be the biggest kid in the class.
Interesting.
School picture, man. You'd be standing out. You know,
Our show, if you just tuned in, it's on every Tuesday. Once in a while, we have good guests. Our show's about nothing. We try to accomplish nothing. We're two gentlemen who care about our community, and we care about you, our listener, and we try to make this hour a little interesting, a little fun.
That's right. Respectful dialogue.
Respectful dialogue, a little education. Next week, we have a guest coming on. I can't even tell you. Except make it an appointment to listen to our show. Make an appointment. Can you do that, Jim?
I can.
Can you make an appointment?
I'm putting it on my calendar right now.
Put it on your calendar.
1 o'clock next Tuesday. I'm going to be here.
And then can we give Cody a little bit more than 21 seconds for his Cody's Corner?
We got a minute now if you want to take 20 seconds.
So I'd like some feedback from your mother. Can she text me? And is she listening to the show right now, Ellen Como?
Of course, yeah.
Because I dedicated the show to my wife. She hasn't listened to me in 20 years.
Yeah.
She refuses to listen
on
to
any.
And she was on the radio with Jerry Cerati Goldman.
Oh, okay.
And I love their show, and I listen to it every week. I don't know why they're not on the air.
What was the topics? What did they talk about?
I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
it was
Well,
like.
see?
Oh no, I did know what the topic.
What
It was the Unreal Reality Show.
Unreal Reality.
They took reality shows and talked about emotional issues, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reality TV. We ought to talk about that next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a reality star. I can't say Kim.
The influence on our society.
Did I say Kim might be coming on?
Who's Kim?
Kim, I can't say. Obviously, you don't watch television. Cody, thank you. Rehearse. Do better. We'll give you more than one. Next week, you've got a minute. Cody's Corner.
You're building up.
The Business of Life every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. We're going to finish by saying this to you. No texting and driving. Thank God we have a great sheriff's department here in Santa Clarita. They're putting more cops. They're writing more tickets. Here's what I don't understand.
That's a good thing?
Friday night, I think it was Friday night or Saturday night in Stevenson's Ranch, they pulled over 368 cars.
Wow.
There wasn't one person drinking or drunk.
That's
Not
good.
one. That is good.
That's a good.
We'll be right back
stat.
next week at 1.